All right, so it's Friday. We're gonna come do some hill sprints. We are in Williamsburg, we're in Brooklyn, so we are not inside the gym today. I wanted to take everybody outside and just see a training session as is, without a lot of instruction, just kind of go through it. We'll talk about the finer points of the drills as we go. When we get to the hill, we'll talk about why we do the hills, but let's get into it. It's hot out. So I just stretch out and do a little bit of this stuff first. So I like to pull on my, quad. I got a little tightness in the top of my quad. So all I do is I grab my foot, I try to get it lined up underneath my hip, and I tuck my butt just so I'm not like this. All right, so that's all that I'm doing. And then what I do just to get it a little active is I push on my hand a little bit. So I'm just pushing my left foot into my left hand. And that's basically it. And then I take that little bit of openness and I do a little swing. So I just go here, swing it back. Just to try to let this stuff relax so I can move and extend my hips easy when I'm doing my drills and when I'm running. I tend to be pretty tight in the front, so I look quite stubby. So we do that for hip flexion, hip extension, hip internal rotation, external rotation, little abduction, adduction, go crawl. Very easy, very ballet. Then we go this guy. Same thing. Big deal is that we're not out, that we're underneath like this. Okay, and then we want our butt tucked under. And then you just breathe. Alright. We'll just go through our ankle prep. You know the drill. This is how I try to look cool for people around me. They go, who is this guy? What's he doing? God, look at those feet. Look at those ankles. God,
those are sweet ankles.
look at those calves.
Wow.
Alright, now we're just going to do the outside. So this is like, this one freaks people out. Right, but a number of times I've turned my ankle. This one always helps, right? So you can see that my shoes really like this one too. But I go on the outsides. I'm not really trying to push. I'm just trying to relax my ankles and let my there's bones in your ankle. And what you want to do is you do want that heel to be able to move around. So the more of that stuff that's fixed, the more trouble you're going to be in. And then so we got this one. We got one more, and then we're ready to start skipping and hopping and popping around. All right, last one is going to be rolling calf raise. Again, you guys have seen this one, but I'm just going to go heel to my toe. All right, so that's like general prep. Those are feet, those are hip flexors, our quads, stuff like that. Now we're going to go into a dynamic series. So on Fridays, it's a resisted or a hill acceleration day, so it could be sleds, it could be hills, it could be something like that, right? What I like to do is generally most of our sprinting prep drills are linear. I like to do stuff where it's lateral or backwards, so we fill in the gaps. So the first one that I do is going to be a lateral shuffle, and then I'm going to do a backwards skip, and then I'll start getting into the other stuff, but you'll see what I do. So for the backwards guy, obviously sideways, if we're doing a lot of linear pushing all the time, we want to get outside the hips, which is like strong hips. The backwards one is because a lot of times when we hit, we're pushing, we're going through hip extension. Now I want to go through here. And just the same thing, filling in a gap. Right? We're always looking at where do we have holes in our development. It may not be a primary focus, but it has to be some aspect, right? All right, now we're gonna go into the more specific ones. So I'm gonna march, basic patterning drill. I talked about this in my video this week. Step in my old footprint. So it's gonna be very slow moving forward. I'm gonna get a lot of reps. Secondary focus is this. when I pick my foot up, I want my ankle flexed. So when I strike on the ball of my foot and come forward. I don't want to be up high on my toes, okay? So it just looks like this. So I'm just trying to work on that half foot length step and then striking the right part of my foot. Again, I'm not going fast forward. I'm getting some repetition. Okay, that's the first one. That one you should do every day if you plan to sprint, just for efficiency and economy of movement. All right. The second one, I am not so strong in my hamstrings, right? I'm not exactly the most elastic dude. So I like to bias my hamstrings, a little bit more of an elasticity demand with my drills. So we're gonna do, it's a straight leg bound, but small. And then as I get more flexible, I'll be able to open it up. So here's what it looks like. Again, I'm here like this. I wanna strike down under my hip or slightly in front of myself. So I don't wanna reach and pull, I wanna strike. So it looks like this, right? Start popping. Now I just go forward. I do everything twice, just so you know. It's not it's like this stuff is practice. Mm-hmm. When you're trying to develop elastic quality, yeah, the practice of things where you have an elastic feel and you can feel that, help get it in here. And then you'll see some stuff I'll do like a little run out. So I'll do the drill and then I'll run in some weird looking way where you're like, that's not, that's for the feeling, right? So it's all about that for me. Here we go, last time on the straight leg guy. Popping, underneath my feet, underneath my hip, I go forward. You always end up with people who are like, why you run like that? Why you do like that? Because I want to feel fast. The next one is a butt kicker. So I use this actually as a hamstring exercise, but also for where is my foot gonna strike again. Like, wow, it's a through line in the training, right? So some of those drills, regardless of their purpose, should have a couple of main kind of attractors, like an A and a B that you should hit. So for vertical body organization and orientation, and for where the foot's striking and on what part of the foot. All right, so butt kicker, it's gonna be a short one because I want high frequency, right? I don't want pop, pop, I want pop, pop, pop. But yeah, 4 strikes a second. So I'm here like this. I keep my hips underneath me. Okay, so that's a shorty. We'll do one more repeat. The way I like to do some of these is longer, lower intensity ones that are not as fast, 15 to 20 yards, shorter, high frequency guys, or ones that I have difficulty with, I trim them because quality and the intent of your practice is so important, right? So we got one more shorty, and we go. All right, that always gets me cooking. My little strings of ham, feeling extra stringy. All right, so that's that one. I do it to a B skip. So a lot of our main patterning drills are A's. They're in the A march, A skip category. The B is gonna be a little bit, the way I do it is we go out, just like an A march. I let my leg open to here, and then I come down, right? I see a lot of people that cast out and they end up reaching and pulling, and their foot strike is in the wrong position. I'm not so skilled in advance myself as an athlete that I can get that with all those things kind of hitting, right? So I do it like this. I go up, put it out, and then I'm under. Okay. So I don't know whether I'm doing it or not, but I'm trying to hit all those things. We'll do one more, and then we'll start putting them together to where it looks more like a run, not like I don't know, some weird skip practice or something. Last time on the old B. All right, let's take a second. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go snap, skip, single. All right, so I'll go snap, skip, single, which is more of a strength power exercise. We're working on really striking down, and then I'm gonna take that same pop, tut, 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 feeling into a normal A run. But I'm gonna try to keep the same quality. So I'm gonna try to really chop, keep a good frequency and really nice hip height. So I'll do like 5 yards, snap, skip, and then a 10-yard A. And then I'm probably gonna lean it out and run it. If it doesn't feel good, I won't, but we'll see how it goes. So I start up, right? This is a stepping down exercise. So I'm here. By the time you get to the end of the warm-up, you kind of know what day you're gonna have. So we'll see what actually pans out today. We'll try to turn it up a little bit. See if we can get it going. Starting up, stepping down. That one drill goes right into the next. The whole idea is preserve that feeling. And when you do the run out, it's really not much more than just a little tilting of the body and letting where your foot strikes on the ground in relationship to your body take you forward. So we're not going upright, full sprint. We just want to stay upright, little tilt and see where it takes us. Last one. Very easy. This will only be 9 runs. All right, so we're on our hill. It's not a very steep grade. The big thing with hills, I wanted to explain this in the beginning, was you have to pick a hill where your ground contact time, like how long your foot is on the floor, is not affected by the steepness of the hill. What we're using the hill for is we're working on acceleration angles and posture. You can either have the person do it on flat, or you can just put them on a hill because the hill makes them do it, right? So regardless of how I'm running, I'm gonna have to do it. It allows me to produce a little bit more power because my foot is on the ground just a fraction of a second longer than it would be if I was on flat. We're not gonna do it today, but a good thing to do with this stuff is if you want it to carry over, you're gonna go like, maybe you do 2 or 3 reps on the hill and then 1 rep on flat, and then it kind of goes back into the skill that you're trying to affect, you know, totally. So I'm gonna walk this out. It's 3 by 15 yards, so I'll walk it out and then we'll get going. All right. These are all going to be from a high falling start, so I'll show you how you set that. So you have people, there's a big difference with a lot of people, like how close and how far they want their feet. I like my feet split kind of like almost toe to my heel, maybe a little bit behind. So I'm going to go left foot forward for almost all the reps. And what I do is set my high fall So what we do is, it's an acceleration. You should feel like you're constantly accelerating. You shouldn't be hitting top speed in 15. I try to be a little patient in the beginning because I'm not that fast. And when I try to go really fast, I end up muscling, getting tight, and fighting myself. So you'd be like, wow, this dude's chilling, but I'm trying, I promise. All right, here we go, quarter squat. Not gonna die. And we're falling. All right, here we go. Last time on the 15s. Try to move a little bit. All right, so we pushed our distance back 5 yards, right? Not a lot, but now we're getting, these are just going further into the acceleration. So we try to get the first piece. All right, we like that. Now we try to continue that same feeling. Try to accelerate a little more, get a little more power. So we're gonna go. We're good, we're clear. Same thing, falling start. Start upright and then fall into my good angle. Alright, last 20. See if I can get the falling guy right. Alright, so those are our, excuse me, those are our 20s. We're gonna take a 10-yard increase. This is the limit of what you can really do acceleration-wise on a hill. We'll see if I can do it.
Oh, right, there's a car coming. Oh.
Oh, you ran over my cone, that son of a bitch.